Hey sewing family, once again you're welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial we're going to be learning how to cut a mermaid skirt with a cut together tail. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, please watch, subscribe and like the video. So now I'm going to go ahead to cutting of the fabric. So I have my Ankara fabric folded into two. So now to get the length, what I just did is I added 2 inches to the length of my client's length. So here now I folded this fabric using 24-inch on fold. This actually depends on how wide you want yours to be. So I'll be reading from my tape rule now from 15 because my client is not really that tall, so our half length is on 15. So I'll be reading from 15. Just look at how I'm placing my tape rule. So from that now mark my hip line. So the hip line is usually 8 to 9 inch depending on the hip size you're working with. For this I'm going to be using 9 inch. Then I went ahead to mark above the knee. So if your client's knee measurement is 38, you can go 5 inch above. But for this I went 5 inch above and I have 35 as my above knee measurement. So I'm going to be needing that for this mermaid effect as well. So this is actually my hip on 9 inch from the waist. So then I marked my length and I added 2 inch allowance to this. So once we are done with that now, we'll go ahead to input our waist measurement. So you want to take quarter of your waist measurement divided by 4, and you go ahead to add 2 inch to this. So this will serve as our sewing allowance because this is going to be cut with a lining piece. As well on the hip, I'll take a quarter of my hip measurement. Once I'm done with that, I'll add another 2 inch to this for my sewing allowance. So on the knee now, I'll take note of everything I have on my hip and I'll be subtracting 1.5 inch from this. So this is because I want to eradicate any bulkiness or any excess, and I want the upper knee to be fitted so that the mermaid effect can be obvious on it. So I went ahead to remove 1.5 inch. Now I'm going to be connecting. But before I connect, to remove any bulkiness on the hip, I'm going to be going up from that my knee line or the above knee line by 4 inch before making any connection. So just pay attention to how I'm going to be connecting now. So to connect the hip part, I'm going to be placing my curve this way in such a way that it can blend the waist and the hip together. As you know that from the waist to the hip is always curvy. So now I'll be turning my ruler now to the straight part and I will connect to the 4 inch I went up by. So please pay attention now. So you can see I still have that same measurement which is on my hip to that 4 inch. So it's from that 4 inch that one now that I'll be making a curve which will reduce the circumference of what I have on that above knee measurement. So from this part now I'll blend it properly, then connect it to what I have as the wideness of the cloth. So just go ahead and confirm all your measurements just like I'm doing on mine, so that you don't have any shortage or any excess. So from this part now I'll be connecting to what I have as what I already folded my fabric as. So I really don't have my long ruler here now, so I'm just be using my tape rule now as a guide for me to be able to connect this. So watch carefully guys. So I'll just blend a straight line this way slantly into the above knee measurements. So once I'm done connecting now, I'll go ahead to use my ruler, my scissors rather, to cut this out. So from here now, I'll confirm what I have here from that above knee, then I'll make sure I have that same thing here. So once I confirm it, I'll make a line where it meets, then I'll connect it or blend it into my cloth. So now I'll use my ruler to blend it into what I have. So once I'm done with that, now I'll go ahead to use my scissors to cut this out. So I'm really sorry that place is not really clear, but it will be clear once I'm cutting it. So now I'm cutting from there. I'll just use my scissors to cut those places you can see me pointing to this way. Exactly. So now I'll cut it carefully. So guys, this is what I had for the front pattern when I was done cutting. So now I placed another fabric which is on about 18 inch of length on fold. Then I just went ahead to add my zipper allowance. So the zipper allowance will actually stop on that same above knee measurement, which is on 34 inch. So now I'll mark it straight ahead. So once I get to that point where my above knee measurement is, I will mark it. Then that is where my zip allowance will end, like I said. So once I've marked it, I'll just blend it straight and then connect it into the whole length I have on this side. So pay attention to how I'm going to be blending it in. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So this way now I have already cut the tail with it. So now we are going to be adding more extension to the tail after we are done cutting it out. So guys, if you actually don't want the tail to be longer, you can leave it the way we've cut it before, but I want the tail to be a bit longer. So from that middle point I came down by 11 because I don't want it to be too long on the, I don't want the tail to be too long, so I'll connect it to what I have there. Now from that part as well, if you don't want the tail to be long on the end part of that, you can connect it the way I connected the first layer, like this, which is from that 8 inch you blend the curve to that part, then on the low you blend it to the other side. But if you want the tail to be long, you can just measure what you have there to the length, which is from that middle point, then you take that same measurement on the side this way. So once you're done with that, you blend the curve in like I just did. So this actually depends on how full you want your tail to be. So I'm going to be cutting this out now using the second one because I want the tail to be a bit full. But if you don't want it to be full, you can go ahead to use the first line I drew on it.